Hi, and thank you for watching this little Living Together Peacefully series. My name is Stephen Talbot, and today I'm going to show you another tool that I used or that I have used in my roommate situations that have certainly helped keep the peace and to stop arguments or animosity or tension and all that stuff. Especially when you have, well, no matter who it is, you want to avoid those things, but especially if they're your friends. I would say, at least in my experience, several of my friendships have definitely gotten real close to becoming over and a lot of hard feelings. So I'm glad that I finally found some of these tools, and I want to share another one of those with you today. The name of this tool is called Chore Buster, and as the name implies, it has to do with cleaning, maintaining the house, keeping everything orderly, straightened up, sort of clean up after yourself, and then those areas in your home that are shared spaces. Obviously, it's everyone's responsibility to keep those clean, or it should be. So, what this online platform does is it's a lot more than just making a chore list. This actually will allow you to you basically take all the chores that you can think of in your household, excuse me, and you sort of break everything up into small little chunks that can be done very quickly, and it can be done maybe in 5 or 10 minutes. And then you assign a value to each of those chores as far as how difficult the chore is, and then you input everybody's name. And what the software will do is it will automatically send reminders both weekly or daily. It will generate RSS feeds. It will send messages on Facebook. It does all sorts of things, and it basically guarantees to split all of the chores up evenly over time. So it makes it so that nobody gets stuck doing the same thing over and over again. And you may do a few extra chores this week, but it'll even out next week. You can also tell it to not assign any chores on specific days, or you can make the workload lighter on some days and not others. There's all sorts of options. This software is free. They do have a paid version. Um, Honestly, I think I paid like $1 or $2, maybe $2 for life to get the pro version, which opened up a few things. I can't remember what it opened up, but if I run across it, I'll make sure to point that out. So the website is chorebuster.net. So when you get here, obviously, if you're watching this, you probably don't have a login yet. So if you don't, you click on sign up, and I'm sure you've done this before. You fill out the form, click sign up. They're going to send you an email confirmation. You click the link, and then you're in. Since I already have an account, excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and log in. Mine is already set up, and so the initial screen that I'm at, this I set all this up. And don't worry, I took the time to make mine very specific, and it didn't really take that long. And honestly, it took us a few weeks to sort of tweak everything and make sure that the chores made sense. But they also have an import option where you can just import all the standard type chores. So as soon as I log in, since I already have all mine set up, this is all the people in my home, the days of the week, and which chores they have. You can also print it out. You can change the text size. You can print out 1, 2, 4 weeks at a time. You can print it out for specific people. So if you're in a situation where it makes more sense to print a full page out for each person and put it in their room or put it in their file folder or backpack or whatever, that option is certainly available to you. You can also view it in Excel, where it'll download it in Excel in a nice looking template, or a web page so that you can upload it for people to see, or you could put it on your intranet or SharePoint site if you wanted to. In fact, you could use this for a lot of other things aside from just chores. You could actually use it for redundant tasks and stuff like that very easily. And you can choose, you see all these different settings you can do. You can have it organized by rooms, have it put check boxes on there. In fact, you can even assign a dollar value to each chore. So let's say taking out the trash is worth $5, and so when that person takes out the trash, it will accumulate that amount of money, and they'll get paid for doing their chores. Now, I personally don't have any children, but I actually don't like the idea of paying. I don't think I would pay my kids to do chores, because I think it's something that they need to learn to do, and they need to learn to pick up after themselves. So I don't know. Of course, that's up to you. Anyway, so First, I will go into edit schedule. Actually, you know what? I'll start at my account. Say, so under my account, you have just basic profile information. You can change your name, email address, put in your password, and oops, under settings, you can hide the top graphic, and what that will do is actually hide this whole header up here, so it will just show, and that would be wonderful if you're going to do an iframe or integrate this into some sort of portal or intranet. That would be cool. The default print orientation, you can change that so that it's all automatically picked the way that you want it every time you go to print it. Choose your time zone and the number of chores per day. Let's see, actually. Let's see. I was going to see how much it is free. Oh, it's free to renew my account. Huh. Yeah, because it is for life. I think I told you that at the beginning. Oh, so they're just taking donations now. Great tool. If you guys would like to see some more updates after you use this and you see that you like it, maybe you ought to donate a couple dollars to them. So this actually took me to the community section as well. You can vote for new features. You can donate, go to their forum, see other people's schedules, which is really cool. So you've seen that, and we've seen this piece, and we've seen my account. Let's go into advanced real quick. So under advanced, there's a few ways that you can find out what chores you're responsible for, or you can relay this information to your roommates and tell them how they can do it. Do it with a browser, email client, mobile phone, RSS, or a little widget that goes on your desktop, which is really cool. And they're also, I misspoke earlier, they have not integrated Facebook yet, but they plan on doing that soon. And then if you click on each one of these, that's for, I don't know what this is, honestly. See here, advanced. Okay. You see, you can get the Yahoo widget, RSS feed. See, so each person actually has their own independent RSS feed, which is really neat as well. All right, so on to the meat and bones of this. So when you click on Edit Schedule, the first thing you'll need to do, or you need to set up the people and the chores. So to set up the people, you can either click on People here, or you can click on Edit People over here. If you want to edit one, or you can click on Add Person. They all more or less take you to the same place. So here, if you were going to add a person, you simply click on Add. You input their name, their email address. Do not put in their email address if you don't want them to get the emails. And you can put in the amount of chores, and also you can give them a handicap if they're, if the person living with you is disabled, or if there's some sort of agreement, like they pay more rent money in exchange for not having to do so many chores, or whatever the case may be. You can certainly change that on here as well. So once you do that, then they will show up in the list for people, which you then can go into edit people, and there are some more options here. So each one of the people, there's each one of the roommates is here, and you can go in and edit it that way. But if you click on their name, it will actually take, oh, well, it's the same thing. So I don't know why that is. I thought it did something different. No, I guess not. Okay. Okay, so anyway, if you want to do it, you can import chores. You can just go through here. They put a bunch of them in here for you. So if these are ones that you use, then you can go through and check which ones you want it to import. If not, then you'll need to go into the Edit Chores button. Even if you don't like these import chores, I would suggest that you import a bunch of them, then click on Edit Chores, so then you'll have something to start with. So then you can go edit them if you want to. Maybe a little bit easier than starting from scratch. So as you can see here, this tells us a list of all the chores, the difficulty level, the frequency. So this happens every 7 days, 90 days, every 14 days, every 10 days, the day that it starts. By the way, this is a good little hint here. So let's say today that you go through and you add all of your chores. If you add them all with the same start date, then you'll find that you'll not only have the same chores over and over again, but you'll find that everything gets dumped. All your chores for the week will seem to get dumped on you on a particular day. So even if you add everything in one day, that's fine. But whenever it asks for the start date, I would spread them out. Have a few start today, have a few start tomorrow, have a few start the next day, and like that, so that it evens out like it should. So I'll just click on one of my chores. It'll take you to the edit screen. So the edit screen has two different. You'll go through one page. You'll click next and go through the second page. Now the chore name I found was I had to put a lot of thought into it because everything shows up in alphabetical order. So I wanted all of the. I didn't necessarily want a different chore list for each room, but on the master chore list that I did share, I did want everything from the same room to be lumped together. So if you're so I had to just make sure that everything in the bathroom started with the word bathroom and then a dash, and then everything in the den started with a den, everything in the kitchen started with the kitchen, and you get the point of what I'm saying. Another tip is you need to make sure that these titles of each chore are pretty short. I mean, you can't get much longer than that. Like this one is entirely too long because whenever you print it out, unless you print it out long ways on multiple pages, it doesn't look very clean. The shorter you keep them, you can actually fit all 5 days on a single sheet of paper vertically. Which is great. You don't waste that much paper, and it looks a lot cleaner. So, just a couple of pieces of advice. So you put the name of the chore, put the start date. See here it says if you don't specify a date, Chorebuster will randomly choose one in the next 7 days. So that's good too. If you don't need, I remember when I first set mine up, it was like Thanksgiving, and I had a family coming over. It was like a few days before, so I needed stuff done like right away. So I signed them manually. But yeah, they make it simple enough so you don't even have to input a date. You input how often the chore should be done. So once a day, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, or you can choose once every whatever number of days. You can choose the days of the week. Choose the rating, and then you'll click next. If no one is available to do the chore, it's asking you what you want it to do. It will either ignore the chore altogether, or you can move it to the next day. I guess it pretty much depends on the chore. I didn't see any reason why I wouldn't move it to the next day, but that's there if you want to. So you can select people that should not do the chore. So if you're the one setting all this up and you really hate doing the dishes, I suppose you could check yourself for dishes. It would still even the chore system out, which is really cool as well because it'll still even everything out by giving you a different chore. But this allows you to cater to the roommates just to make sure everything is as seamless as possible and everybody gets along. If somebody likes doing laundry and somebody else doesn't like doing laundry, then whenever you input laundry in this form, well, we don't do each other's laundry in my situation, but I was just using that as an example. But you can check the name so that they don't get assigned that chore, which is pretty cool. Sharing. We do this in our household for taking the trash down because we have two huge trash cans, so we actually do 2 people for that, and we also do 2 people for mowing the grass. And I'm sure there are other things that you could share with people, and so it will assign 2 people to a single chore. You can also choose the room. This is good for if you want to print it out by the room. But like I said, I did mine so that the naming convention started with the room that it was in. It worked out better for me that way. Color when printing and displaying. So for myself, some of the things that were really important that I didn't, want somebody to look over, I did, made it red. And then here's where you can choose the reward or payment that you want to get provided. And I believe that you actually, well, they don't. Never mind. They don't They don't make it mandatory that you donate anymore. But I don't think. But if they do, you do have to donate, or you used to have to donate to get this reward option. That was one of the extras. You can also choose what time of day that the chore is done in as well. So after you get all this set up, they will either get an email on a daily basis or a weekly basis. It's a very nice email. It's a full chart. You can have them text message it. You can have the chore list text message to them. We found with this, or at least I think they suggest this somewhere on the website. We found that rather than we tried it a few different ways. Rather than have clean living room and clean kitchen, those seemed like bigger tasks that would take longer. Number one, and number two, if most of the time we don't eat together and everybody sort of does their own thing. So in cases where we decided to cook some huge dinner, it really wouldn't be fair for the person that had kitchen duty that night. Um, so we decided to split everything up into very small chunks, very, very small chores. Like example for the kitchen, we have unload dishwasher, load dishwasher, sweep floor, mop floor. Those are both separate chores. Wipe counters is a separate chore. Clean microwave, separate chore. Every little thing is a separate chore. Um, Now, one of my roommates actually preferred that it be done by the room, but she got outvoted, so that's not the way we did it. But so I hope you'll try this out, and I hope you find it as useful as I did. I'd love to hear your comments. This really was a game changer in my roommate situation, so hopefully it will be in yours too. And I will be making more videos at some point in the future when I run across some other tools that I found to be monumental in keeping our roommate situation nice and cool and not getting any heated debates and all the other stuff I mentioned at the beginning. So again, my name is Stephen Talbot, and thank you for watching, and you guys have a great weekend.